Hi, Shane here with Northwest Dirt Turners. We have the privilege of having Dave Stinchfield on with us today. He is an ambassador for Path Projects. He's also run Bigfoot 200, Moab 240, and just recently Cocodona 250. And right now he's in Scottsdale, Arizona at a dental conference, getting ready to run Tahoe 100 this weekend. So let's get to it. With Dave Stinchfield. He's a Path Projects ambassador, and we're going to talk to him about his trail running, and then we'll get into some Path Projects gear. So welcome, Dave.
Thank you. Good to be here.
First question I'm going to ask you is, how did you get into running?
Actually, I wasn't much into running until I was about 30 years old. I was coming out of the Navy, and I'd run maybe a 5K or something here or there. I played football in high school and stuff, so that was my what I loved doing. But then when I was 30, I had some extra time on my hand because I was starting a business and it was picking up. And I said, I'm going to try a marathon. I'm going to train for a marathon, run one this year. And I ran it, and then I kind of said, I think I can do better next time. I lost a couple toenails on that one, so I think I can do better on this. So I did another one, and I did another one, and after a couple dozen marathons, I was getting a little bored of road running, and I was worried about getting starting to get injuries. So I had a buddy, actually my brother-in-law, that invited me to a 8-mile mud run in Oregon. And I did this trail race, and like the community was like, just blew my mind. The community of people and the beauty of the trails and the ups and downs and the snow and mud. And I was just like, wow, I had no idea this existed. So, and then it's like turning the water up slowly to boiling, and you do you do a 50K, and then you do what's a 50 miler? Let's try that. What's a 100 miler? What's a 200 miler? And then a 250, what the heck? Yeah. So for the last 15 years, I've been kind of doing mostly trail stuff. That's my niche now. I love it there.
That sounds similar to the background I had. I was kind of an old marathon runner, and I think I did 13. And I remember I did my first 50K. I think I looked at your ultra sign up. It was about 2012, about the same time. And I did that just like, maybe I can run 6 miles longer, 5 miles longer. And then 3 years later, I'm done with this road stuff, man. I'm just doing trails. And
I haven't done a marathon in a while.
Yeah, me neither. And then, the community obviously brings everybody out. But there is a difference between you and I. Like, you went from like 2012, and next thing you know, you're running hundreds and then 200s. I've run 100 my whole time. So I'm like, that's good enough for me. But it doesn't seem to satisfy you at all. So it looks like you did your first 100-mile in Orcas, right? Is that your first one in 2017?
Orcas was my first one. I didn't realize when I picked it that I picked a really tough 100-miler.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you don't get any pacers on it. It's in February. It's a 4-loop. It's the short days part of the year. So. And it's deep, dark forest, so the night is really long. Mm-hmm. And I finished that. And the crazy thing is, on that race, I was so sick too.
Oh, yeah.
And I somehow finished it. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. Then I was running mountain lakes the next year, and I'm running behind these two ladies, and they're talking about some like Bigfoot 200. I'm like, what is that? And I asked them, and they told me kind of what it was. And I'm like, I've never heard of anything like that. Then I started looking into it, and I got sucked in.
Yeah. So now you've done how many hundreds have you done, and how many 200s have you done now?
I've done mountain lakes a couple times. I've done Orcas once, and twice I've DNF'd on Orcas since then. Okay. I have to go. I'm going back again in February. I've got to redeem myself.
All right.
And I've done Javelina. I can't remember. I think that's it. There's probably another one in there somewhere, but I've kind of forgotten.
And then Bigfoot was in, your first one was 200 was in
2019.
2019, okay.
2019, yeah. So I
Uh-huh.
jumped into Bigfoot in 2019, and not knowing what to expect, and that was an incredible kind of out of body, out of mind experience. So that's what I mean by it kind of sucked me in. I was just like, man, this is amazing. Like that whole community feel and the beauty feel was like on steroids, right? The when you go out for a multi-day event like that, the community feel is even stronger. It's just magnified, and then the beauty is magnified. And so I did Bigfoot in 2019, and then in 2020 I was it 20 COVID kind of throws my whole head off.
Yeah.
But I signed up for the Triple Crown, and things just got canceled kind of all over the place. I signed up for Orcas again, and that got canceled. Anyways, we came into 2020. I signed up for the Triple Crown again, and Bigfoot. I DNF'd on Bigfoot, went out way too fast, and got totally dehydrated. It was all smoky and hot going across Mount St. Helens. And so I dropped on that, and I was like, oh man, this is a great way to start off the Triple Crown. And then Tahoe got canceled because of the fires on the southwest part of the lake. But luckily in 2021, I got to Moab 240, and and I was thinking in my head, man, was Bigfoot 200 just kind of a fluke, or that first time I did it in 2019, or what is this? So but 2021 I did Moab 240. That was an incredible experience. I kind of I felt really good with that one. I destroyed my feet with that one. I just miscalculated some things. It's kind of interesting in these races, these longer distance races, you kind of, on each race, you kind of learn something new, whether it's nutrition or gear or taking care of your feet or sleeping or packs and that kind of stuff. You kind of pick up on all these things, and you start to kind of hone it in to figure it out. And I feel like, I came into about 5 or 6 weeks ago, I came into Cocodona 250 down here in Arizona, and I came into that with a little more knowledge. I still miscalculated a little bit on my feet, but actually my feet were much better than they were on Moab. But I kind of dialed in the gear. Like I had a really bad experience the first time I ran Bigfoot on chaffing, chaffing in areas for guys.
Right.
And it was a really miserable experience, because I had serious chafing like in the first 40 miles. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got another 160 miles to go, and I'm like already in bad shape. That's when I started looking for short options, and that's where I kind of came across Path Projects, looking for shorts. And anyways, I became a crew member, part of the Path Projects crew, and I've been with them for about 2 or 3 years now. And I swear by their stuff.
Yeah, so that's what drew you in, is more about the chafing part, is for Path Project shorts, correct?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then I started kind of wearing their clothing, and it's like super comfortable material. I think they went out of their way to really find the right material. And the shorts, I swear by the shorts, because what they did was, and they're not the first ones to do this, but what they did was they separated the liners from the shorts. So the shorts don't have any liners, and then you buy the liners separately, and everybody thinks, why can't I just buy them at the same time connected? Well, there's a reason for it, because you can alter the length of your liner, because some people like the liners to be a little bit longer, so your thighs don't rub. Some people like them to be shorter, so you can kind of customize, and you can have a longer liner and a shorter short, or vice versa. You can have a short that's more breathy, or ones that are warmer, or you can go with like a full long length liner that goes all the way down to your ankles, or you can go with a short that goes into that Killam PX, the pants, same material, but it goes all the way down to your ankle for really cold stuff. So it gives you all this variability, But the fact that you separate the liner from the short decreases on the chafing that you get down in the nether regions.
Right.
So I found that it really works well.
Yeah. So I ran today with their new what is it, the Lynx liner. And it's up here, and I know you're in Arizona today, but here it's just like typical really bad chafing weather. It's like 65 degrees, muggy, and that's where I usually chafe really bad. And I just wore the Lynx shorts with the liner with the Sykes shorts, and had no chafing problems at all today. This same weather last year, I did volcanic 50, same exact weather, and I've chafed like I was wearing another pair of shorts, and I chafed harder than I've ever chafed before. I mean, the scars, I still have the scars from it almost a year later.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So I'm not, for me, I'm glad I found something that works for me as well. So can you tell me how you use these shorts in races? Like when you're at these long races? I know you told me one time you changed the liners and things like that.
Yes. So I like the short that I wear mostly, and I think I shared some pictures with you of me wearing them in a few different races, but these ones right here, which are actually the Graves PX short.
Hold them in front of the
blur.
Yeah, there you go. Put it right in front. There you go.
So these are these are Graves PX shorts, and I wear the like the 5-inch pair. Actually, let me turn this, see if I can turn this off so you can actually see it.
Okay.
There we go.
All right,
I'm just in a hotel room down here.
Yeah, that's
there
right.
We go. I did it without disconnecting you. Sweet. All right. So these shorts right here, these are the Graves PX, and these ones actually, I've worn these through several 200 milers because you can see a little bit of like the pinholes on them where I put my bibs. But I've worn these through multiple 200 milers and some 50Ks, and they're holding up really well. I mean, these could go quite a bit longer. I like the material on them. It's not like a waterproof material, but it's kind of water repellent. So unless it's like a drenching rain, if it's a light rain or mist, or you're brushing across like long grass or tree branches, it's not going to soak you. Unless it's like pouring rain, then it will. But I like the fact that they don't. I like my shorts a little bit shorter because I don't like them hanging down my legs real far. But so they have these ones. These Graves have 3 pockets, so they have these side ones that are real nice. What I utilize them for is I put my my earbuds case in this side, and then I put my all my gel wrappers, garbage, I just pack them into the side pocket. It has some flex in it, so I can pack everything that I've eaten down inside that pocket, and then when I come into an aid station, I know I ditch that pocket empty, right, and take care of it. And then this back pocket, it's big enough to fit an iPhone in there. So I'll stick an iPhone back in there, and it kind of keeps it a little bit dry. It's not like a waterproof pocket or anything, but super comfy. And then so that's the short that I use. And I have a couple pairs of them. And I think on like Cocodona, I think I wear one outer liner the entire time. Okay. And I just, or not outer liner, outer short. And then I switched the liner, and I actually only wore 2 liners the whole race. So this isn't the, was it the Lynx that you wore? Yeah. This isn't the Lynx one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one here is, most of mine are this material, which is, I don't know. I use it in hot and cold weather, and it holds up really well. I haven't had any issues with like them tearing at all. I know I have like, I know I've heard other runners that have had issues with some wearing through or something. I have a few pairs of these, and I haven't ever had them break down on me. But I think this is like I don't know if these are like by large, it's medium large and everything, but I don't think you can gauge the length based upon whatever you order online. But I wear those under the shorts, and the edges of the hem on both of them sit at about the same spot. And for me, that's like perfectly comfortable for me. And
So
that's what
you're-
I'll wear down to like
Okay,
25 degrees.
sure. So basically you're wearing a
Yeah.
5-inch liner with 5-inch shorts that you're saying? Uh-oh.
I have some liners that are actually all the way down to the ankle. If it's really cold, I'll slip those on, and then I'll still wear those shorts over them.
Okay.
Or I can go to that Killam PX, which I don't think sometimes it's in stock, sometimes it isn't, because they go pretty fast, and they have kind of a zipper down on the side so you can get it on and off of shoes. But it's that same material that's kind of a little bit water repellent. Again, a drenching rain it won't hold up to that, but it will keep off, cold branches and grass and stuff like that. And it's got the same pocket setup. So those are really nice if it's like getting really cold. Like I've got Tahoe 200 coming up next weekend, and it's supposed to be a little on the chilly side. I think in Homewood, which is where the start is at like 4,000 feet, it's supposed to be a high of like 65 and a low of like 37. So once you get up into the higher regions of the race, between 6,000 and 8,000 feet, where there's still a little bit of snowpack, hopefully there isn't any rain, but it's going to be chilly up there at night. So I'm going to have those Killams with me. I'm going to have those long liners available for me, so that if I need to put on some extra warmth on the lower half, I can do that.
Oh yeah. So that sounds like, do you carry that with you, or do you just have it in drop bags?
I will put them in strategically placed drop bags where I know that I don't, because some of the drop bags are there with no crew. So I'll have those ones stocked a little bit more than the ones where my wife crews me, Adina. She crews me on these races, and she has the truck there, and I'll have backups in there too. Just so that I have a problem that I over prepare and I have way too much stuff than I need. I could probably handle it with like 2 liners, 1 long liner, 1 Killam pair of pants, and one of those gray shorts. I know that would last me the whole race. But I'm always have this fear of like, I'm going to rip something open or tear something on a branch. I'm going to want to back up. So.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So what else is drawing you into Path Projects? I know you said you wear some other clothing items.
Yeah, so I like their hats a lot. I think I see you wearing one right there.
Right here,
Yeah, that's a nice. I like their hats. They've got several different styles. Unfortunately, on my last, I jumped into the Stumptown 50K.
Saw you there.
What was that on? Oh yeah, I saw you there on Memorial Day. I lost my hat there. I had the 10 junk miles hat.
Oh yeah.
I had that hat there, and I stuffed it in my pack. And when I went to take my pack off to take a cover off, it fell out of my bag, and I didn't realize it until like 2 miles later. So I'm gonna have to buy another one of those.
Oh, no.
But they got some great hats, and they do like collaborative efforts with different people in the running community, and they come up with some pretty cool styles and stuff.
Yeah, that's where this non-elite one is. It kind of defines who I am, but it's also, they worked with I don't know what it is, Kofuzi. That's what it's called, I guess. So
yeah.
Anyway,
so they've got some good stuff. They just came out with this, and I've used this once, but they have this new shirt that has this like different I can't remember what the name of the I was going to look and see what the name of the fabric is. It's a new fabric that they just introduced, and it's for warm weather. Yeah, so it's made from this air dot mesh, but they have like a tank top, and then I don't like tank tops very much. So luckily they came out with this shirt, but it's got like this mesh in it. Yeah, so I wore it the other day on a really warm run. It was a really humid, warm run. It's actually really nice. So, I mean, just in case sometimes Tahoe is warm, I'm gonna have this shirt there just in case I need it. But I like that. And then one thing, I love their t-shirts, like all their t-shirts that have these prints on them. They're super, it's the fabric that they use for them is like super comfortable. It's like this, I think they call it like a tensile fabric blend. But I wear that, and then I have a million of these, and it drives my wife crazy because I wear them all the time, and that's all I wear is these hooded long sleeve shirts. And the cool thing about these is they have this little, I'm not sure what this is called, but they have this little part where it comes up above the seam right here, and it keeps it, if you pull the hood over your head, if it's windy or something, it keeps it from just blowing off on you. And again, it's that really comfortable, like same kind of t-shirt kind of fabric, but down at the wrist, they've got this super cool, they've got like the thumb hole. And then on the watch side, they actually made a hole for the watch. So they got like the thumb hole down here, and then your watch is right there. So when you're like on a chilly morning or something, it works perfectly. But I end up wearing these like all the time. And I like I said, I think it drives my wife crazy, but here, I'll put it on so you can see how the watch thing works.
Okay. So it sounds perfect for those runs out in the gorge when you get up to the top, like, Coyote Wall or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it just gives you a little extra layer. It's also good for hot stuff too, because you can pull the hood over and you can protect yourself. But see right here, I'm 6'3" and I have super long arms. And one of the things that drives me crazy about these kinds of hoodies is that the arms aren't long enough. But this right here, you just hook that just like that.
Perfect.
It's like it's perfect. It's perfect. I mean, whoever designed that, I mean, that was great. And I just love the length, because normally I think on most shirts the seam will end right here. So they have this little extra section here for the watch, and then they have an extra section for your arm too. So I like these just because with my long arms, my stuff always feels like it's shrinking up on me, and these don't. So I have too many of these, according to my wife.
Oh yeah. No, but if they're comfortable, we can wear them all the time. You probably wear them when you're not even running.
Nope, I wear them all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Now they just need to make stuff for you in your dental office where you wear it. Like
there you go.
Too. Okay.
There you go. Make scrubs out of them.
All right. Okay, so what are you going to be? So what did you wear at Cocodona 250 then? What kept you going?
Cocodona, I wore this short setup that I was just talking about. I wore that, and then I had a variation of different types of hoods and stuff to try and keep the sun off of me. And I pretty much had a wide brim hat the whole time, and then I had some hooded shirts, but I didn't really use the hood very much. It was mainly I had a wide brim hat, and that kept the sun off of me enough that I didn't get I had my pole gloves on, so that kind of kept my hand shielded. So I was in those shorts the whole time, though, the entire race. I didn't have to get any warmer than that.
All right. So I got to ask you a question, just comparing all the 200s you've done. What's your favorite? What's your worst favorite? And good question. Obviously what'd you like about them and what you didn't like about them?
Yeah. So my favorite at this point is Bigfoot. And I mean, partially it's because I live up in that area, and just that deep, dark, buttery trail for it. I mean, there's some rocky stuff too, but the beauty up there is just crazy. And I love the fact that you leave the starting line at Marble Mountain on the south side of Mount St. Helens, and you don't really see civilization again until you pull into Randall at the end of the race. And everything in between there, you're like, you don't have any reception on your cell phone. You're just out there wild, and which sucks for crew, by the way, but for the runners, it's incredible.
Right.
So that's my favorite by far. I enjoyed Cocodona and I enjoyed Moab. those are, you know, in drier, warmer climates, and I struggle in those, even though I did okay in those two. I had an incredible time. I mean, some of the views in Cocodona were amazing, and around Sedona and Mount Eldon up in Flagstaff. But you know, the forests were really dry for me, and not much life in them. And it was very dry and dusty and hot. So I didn't really enjoy that as much as I do Bigfoot.
Right. Yeah, I imagine like it's pretty hard to train in the Pacific Northwest in wintertime for a race in February, March, or whatever.
That was pretty
hot.
rough. I wish I would have done some heat training somehow. I mean, I had been down here a few weeks prior to that and ran a little bit down here, but yeah, all my training was in cold, wet, snowy, rainy stuff building up to Cocodona. So that was, but it didn't seem to mess me up too much. Also, Cocodona was at a higher elevation. Like you started around 4,000 and they took you up on Mount Eldon to almost about 10,000 feet towards the end of the race. And I usually train, you know, I live at 500 feet in Washougal, and I go out in the gorge, but the most I get out there in the winter is like 2,000 or 3,000 feet, because above that you're in too much snow. So that's about all the elevation I could really get in training for this race, but it wasn't too bad actually.
Oh, great. Well, that's
Yeah.
all the questions I think I have. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I'm stoked to get out next week. Right now I'm kind of in taper mode, just starting to hydrate myself and eat and rest and putting all my drop bags together. And I don't know, I love that part of the race, getting all the logistics all figured out and getting ready for it. And then towing the line next Friday.
All right.
So less than a week left.
Yeah, we'll have to track you and see how it goes. Well, good luck.
Right on bib number 214.
Okay. Thanks, Dave.
All
Thanks
right.
for getting on the call with us.
Yep. We'll see you, Shane.
Okay.